Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. And it's Friday, time to go around the NFL with Jordan DeJaney of CBS Sports. And Jordan, last night's Unk Bowl between two 40-year-old quarterbacks was the most electric Thursday night football game I can remember. What in the world happened?
It was amazing. I think they're calling it the Icy Hot Bowl as well.
I like it.
40-year-olds going at it, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. I mean, everyone laughed, it seemed like, at the Bengals for orchestrating that trade for Joe Flacco. But Mike Tomlin had a different read on the situation. He talked about this week. He wondered publicly what Andrew Berry was doing, giving a rival still in the division mix a new starting quarterback. And Joe Flacco showed you last night that he's still got some spunk to his game, right? And he's a Hall of Famer in my heart. He just became the first quarterback in NFL history to have 300 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in a game for 4 different teams. It's never been done before. But here's the other part of this, too. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you guys asked me for a fraudulent team a couple of weeks ago. I brought up Mike Tomlin's Steelers because this defense is not the Steelers' defense we've grown accustomed to. The defensive front's not getting a push. This secondary looks old and slow, and they were absolutely exposed last night.
Okay, so obviously, there's obviously not a quarterback controversy in Cincinnati. There's no Joe Gate going on. But at the same time, I mean, can Joe Flacco keep them afloat and maybe the Bengals maybe turn into buyers instead of sellers at the trade deadline?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's still really tough with the defense that they're fielding, right? Like, I don't know if they're going to be a team that is going to be in the division hunt, maybe as a wild card if Joe Flacco can keep up this kind of play. But looking at their schedule, up next are the Jets, who are the lone winless team in the NFL, then the Chicago Bears, then the Steelers again before you get to the Patriots. So, yeah, there's going to be an opportunity for the Bengals to actually stack some wins here. But even given that incredible performance last night, I'm still not fully ready to buy the Bengals as this team that's going to make a push. I'd like to see Joe Flacco stack a couple of games. But, I mean, they've definitely identified themselves as a team to keep an eye on for sure.
What's kind of going on with Trevon Diggs this season? I mean, he apparently had an accident at home this morning and is now and came in with concussion symptoms. So now he's in concussion protocols and going to miss the rival game between the Washington Commanders. And he's had 18 combined tackles, 0 passes defended, 0 interceptions. I mean, what's going on with Trevon Diggs right now?
Yeah, remember when Trevon Diggs was the best cornerback in the NFL when he led the league in interceptions and was a first-team All-Pro? Long were those days, but this is some breaking news. Brian Schottenheimer revealed to local reporters today that Trevon Diggs suffered some kind of accident in his home last night, and he's now in the concussion protocol, and he's already been ruled out for this matchup against Washington. And even though Trevon Diggs is not some superstar cornerback, I think he's only registered 4 starts in those 6 games played. This is still a loss because, as we know, the Cowboys appear to have the worst defense in the NFL. They rank last in yards allowed per game with 411.7. They're last in pass defense with 269.5 passing yards allowed per game as well. Second worst in scoring defense. So while the Washington Commanders are certainly banged up at the wide receiver position, calling Treylon Burks to the stage, by the way, this is certainly a big loss for Dallas, who's trying to bounce back after that loss to the Carolina Panthers.
We're going around the NFL with Jordan DeJaney of CBS Sports.
Well, Jordan, I wanted to get your thoughts on the firing of the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, Brian Callahan, and kind of where you think his dad was in this whole spot as far as on the staff and really not meeting expectations in my eyes, and what he was going to be doing to help the offensive line. Kind of take us through your timeline of the timing of the firing and justification and who else is next on the board.
Right. To be honest with you, I was a little surprised with the timing. I say that because it seemed like there was a press conference scheduled for him to speak that day, and then all of a sudden he's fired, and then the press conference is canceled. I think that there are 2 things that go into why Tennessee made the decision when they did. Number one is that they, of course, got that win against the Arizona Cardinals. The front office and ownership wanted to see if he was going to be able to stack wins and kind of improve against the Las Vegas Raiders. That, of course, did not happen. But I also don't want to bypass the fact that we all know who is coming to town this Sunday. Mike Vrabel, the former coach of the Titans. So I don't think it's a coincidence that ownership made the decision when they did, that Mike Vrabel is not going to get the chance to beat the man that replaced him in Tennessee. So the other part of this is that, the Titans are hoping for an interim bump. And I reached out to CBS Sports Research trying to see, how do these teams who fire their coaches midseason fare in that very next game? Well, apparently, since 2015, teams that fire their coach midseason are 13-12 in their next game. That's a winning record. So we could be in for some pretty interesting action this Sunday. But real quickly, I just
want to say the Zach Lyons Research Foundation saw that this morning too, and since 2010, it's 52.9% win percentage. So
that's crazy.
0.529. So little voodoo on the way. Just want to say that real quick.
Voodoo.
Yeah. So real quick on his dad being fired. I understand, or fired or parted ways, whatever you want to describe it as. That made sense to me because I think it would be a little weird to have the former coach's father still in the building. I'm sure there would be some curiosity hey, Dad, how are they running things now? Are they talking bad about me? It made sense to kind of part with both men given the situation.
Do you think McCoy is going to be the head coach moving forward the rest of the season, or do you think someone else is going to get the job, and who would you put on the list, at least this early?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. If I had to bet, I'm going to say that Mike McCoy is going to be given the opportunity to finish out the season. But you bring up an interesting point because there are some other head coaches that do not have a job right now that are worth at least talking to, such as Mike McCarthy. When it comes to potential replacements, it's very easy to be intrigued by some of these up-and-coming young coaches like Jesse Minter or Clint Kubiak or Joe Brady, which everyone is talking about. But given the situation with where the Titans are now, I think they're probably going to lean towards someone who has done the job before. So that would be someone like Mike McCarthy, Brian Flores, Cliff Kingsbury, Matt Nagy, I'm sure has been talked about a lot. Arthur Smith's name has been in the mix as well. So give or take, whatever name gets you really excited. I don't know if there's one that really sticks out to me. If I had to pick one, it's probably Mike McCarthy. But from what I've heard, Matt Nagy is definitely a guy to keep an eye on.
I guess, and lastly here, Treylon Burks got signed to the practice squad, I think. Was it the Commanders?
Yes.
And they act as though the way it was worded that he will be elevated very quickly. And I didn't know what that meant. Have you heard anything about that he'll be active sooner than later?
We might find that out today. I find it really tough to believe that he would be active after signing with the practice squad 24 hours beforehand. But, we saw Joe Flacco do it. We saw Greg Newsome and Tyson Campbell do it. I don't know why those cornerbacks were active last week. I don't know if you guys watched them play with the Browns and Jaguars, but they looked out of sorts with their new defenses. They were thrown into the mix way too quick. But as for Treylon Burks, that's someone who I'm definitely rooting for. He's just 25 years old, I believe. Injuries have really been the headliner of his young career, and I just don't have much faith that he's going to be able to stay on the field. But he definitely needed a change of scenery, and given the injuries with Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown is on injured reserve, Deebo Samuel's dealing with the heel injury as well. That's why it's possible Treylon Burks could be on the field sooner rather than later.
One more thing, and I was thinking about this. If you were the owner of the Tennessee Titans, name me 3 players you would be selling before the trade deadline. Or would you be selling?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think I would be selling given where I am right now. I think that I could fetch a 7th-round pick for Arden Key. I think that Roger McCreary's a really interesting name because he's due a new contract, and he's going to be fighting for somewhere around top of market corner or slot corner, nickel corner money. And if you've come to the decision as a front office that you are not going to pay him that kind of money, then it would be smart to sell him right now. The other player that I would consider, and this would be controversial, of course, but if I can get something like a 1st-round pick for Jeffrey Simmons, I'm probably making that move. It's tough because he's the face of your franchise. He's an outstanding player. He's having an incredible season. I don't think there's a defensive tackle out there right now that is playing better football than Jeffrey Simmons. But looking at my situation, when I'm one of the worst teams in the NFL, if I can get that high of a pick for a contributor like that, and I'm starting over with a new head coach and a new roster overall, Jeffrey Simmons is someone who I'm considering.
Lastly, would you trade Chig because his contract is up? That's what I was thinking about. Guys whose contracts are in the last year, they know they're not going to bring them back. Try to see if you get signed a Chig or even Pollard, even to the point maybe right before the deadline. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that as well.
I would definitely be interested in selling Pollard. The thing is with this contract, I don't know if he's going to be an option for teams out there like the Los Angeles Chargers, but hey, crazier things have happened, so that's very possible. Regarding Chig, you're talking to a Maryland football fan, so I absolutely love Chig, and I love the prospect that he was. Mm-hmm. I love what he adds to the offense as well with his yak ability. In fact, if we're talking real quickly about changes we want to see with Mike McCoy now in charge, I want to see more target share going to the running backs and the tight ends in the passing game. Mm-hmm. But yes, Chig is on an expiring contract, and if that's someone who you've identified as you're not going to offer a long-term extension to, then yes, I'm absolutely open to parting ways with him as well.
All right, Brian Callahan obviously fired midseason. Zach Taylor and Joe Flacco may save Zach Taylor's job. Who is the next coach you think that will be fired, whether it's midseason or the first coach fired on Black Monday?
Yeah, let's take a quick trip down to South Beach and talk about Mike McDaniel with the Miami Dolphins right now. Things, of course, are not going well. Their defense is atrocious. Tua Tagovailoa is turning over the ball. He's rubbing his teammates and the national media, by the way, wrong with the comments he's making in his post-game press conferences. And I bring up the national media very quickly because even though it doesn't matter what's being said outside of your building, that is negative noise. And negative noise is amplified when you're not winning football games in between the lines. So Mike McDaniel is someone who is held in high regard by owner Stephen Ross. But, of course, they're not winning games and things are not going well. The offense has lost its flashiness. So I think that Mike McDaniel is definitely a candidate to be fired this season.
There you have it. Jordan DeJaney of CBS Sports. We went around the NFL with him. Jordan, enjoy your football weekend.
Hey, you guys too. Thanks so much.
All right. Coming up next, we'll shift gears to the Tennessee Titans and your phone call, 615-737-1045. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 1045 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. Let's start off with some phone calls. Let's go with Jason in Murfreesboro, who wants to talk Tennessee Titans. Jason, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm just take it for what it is. I'm tired of hearing about anybody with the name Mike. Unless it's Michael Jordan, I want to hear the name Mike. Like, we have a Mike Curse of the Titans. Don't hire nobody that's Mike. And if he is a Mike, call him Michael. Don't say Mike, because we are not good with Mikes, man. Like,
So I could interest you in Michael McCarthy, but not Mike McCarthy.
throw him out the window. Like, we don't want to see nothing that got the name Mike on it, man. Like, let's clear away that curse. Get rid of it, man.
I like it.
It's a curse with the mic.
To play off that, I've been coming around. We played with this idea last night on Football and Other Efforts, but an idea that you brought up, a name that you threw out there in your top 3 coaching candidates, Eddie George. And I'm kind of like, okay, I'm kind of been talking myself into maybe at least, let's interview him, right?
Oh, yeah.
What can an interview hurt? And then see, is he willing to maybe for us to hire some members of his staff, like an offensive coordinator? Who does he have in mind for his staff? Because that's really, I don't know, my biggest hang-up would be staff assembling the staff. But other than that, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I see some people talk about it, like in the chat today, talking about, and I'm like, a CEO-style head coach, strictly that, lets his offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators do their job, but he does their job and oversees it, lets special teams do it. I don't know. Guy that can really probably set the locker room straight. I'm not.
I think it'd be vital with his leadership skills, but the offensive coordinator would be the question on who would he hire, and then they would help him through that process to get that guy. And you can even, if you don't want, Denard, you got to go get another. But, I mean, he's satisfactory. I mean, he's solid with less tools. So see if you get him some more tools, especially, pass rushers. I think they would be a lot better, at least middling in the NFL. So, I just think that since he's in the coaching industry, so it's not like you're hiring him from the streets. He's been doing it now. This is 5 years. He's at Bowling Green as the head coach, elevated himself, and moved to a bigger conference from TSU. So he has the mindset. He knows what it's like to be a player. He's also super sharp, super bright. And I always felt like his leadership style was, especially for this generation of players, I think comes with a lot of respect, but yes, also a lot of respect from him to them. So I think it's a, especially if you were doing kind of the Jeff Saturday, I wouldn't want him to leave, but I meant like, okay, let's see how this works out. I don't know if the Titans are at a point where they can see if it can work out hiring someone with no NFL head coaching experience. But he's definitely a leader of men, and that definitely need direction, and I think he's a guy that could do it.
I personally have never met Eddie. You've obviously played with him. But I can relay a story that Stoney has met him once when he was doing plays or something, and Stoney reviewed his play. He knew Stoney by the review in his play, and like after 5 minutes, Stoney was like, I would run through traffic for this guy.
That's what I said, man. He was the one coined the phrase. I had never heard it, use as an athlete, because I'm a run through a brick wall type guy. He was like, no, it's more controlled rage.
Yeah.
I said, no. And he said it so calmly. Well, that's not rage. I mean, what you I got to be pumped up. I got to be controlled. No, controlled rage. And so that then hence leads you down a road of you don't get penalties when somebody does something to him. You get them in between the lines. Yeah, so
controlled rage would be a really good theme for this team right now. They could probably use it.
It was a good fit that he was on offense and I was on defense as the leaders of the team. So it was kind of opposites, because to be a defensive guy, you kind of be more emotional and live on the, emotions.
Knows ownership somewhat. I don't know how much he knows Amy Adams drunk and all that stuff. But I'm sure he knows her enough to kind of know what's going on. I don't know, like. At first, I'm kind of like, there's obviously still a lot of risk, right? If you're trying to mitigate risks, this would not be, that would be heavier on the risk side than the other side. But the payoff could be so big that nobody could see it coming. Except for you,
Let
obviously.
alone
'cause you're
his
top
name
three.
as well and what he brings
Yep.
to the table, and refreshing name that is always considered in the positive light.
Yeah.
What does the organization need right now? Some positivity.
And didn't he interview for a head coaching job recently? Am I making that up? Did he interview for Chicago?
Oh, he was in the running. Yeah, he was.
I think
he did.
that was
He did
it. I
interview.
think he did.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, he did.
So
I
he's-
think I actually talked to him right before he did,
Yeah.
and I texted him afterwards and said, "You didn't even tell me you were doing an interview." He said, "Man, I can't tell you everything I know." You know? He said, "Watch this. We talking about practice." This
Yeah.
is what he said. So I think he meant that it's his practice building up
Yeah.
to where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah. And I brought it up. Well, you said it, but I said, talking about mantras, it's been relentless and resilient. Controlled rage, that would sell.
Yeah.
If you're talking about just maybe some shirts, Titans Controlled Rage would go a long way.
He got me, so that definitely stood out. So yeah, I think he's a guy I would definitely keep in the hunt going into next season, in the off season. Let's say if you're going to interview people and just see where he stands with the other interviews.
You have piqued my interest for sure. Let's go to CJ. CJ, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Tom always trying to say that we shouldn't hire Mike McCarthy.
What'd you say about McCoy? I can't hear you.
Sorry, CJ. Sounds like you're calling from a submarine, so I have no clue what's going on.
I was worried
something about
you,
Mike McCarthy and Mike McCoy, but I don't know what it was.
Something? Do you know what he said?
I think he was trying to say, like, he had a problem with people saying that they wouldn't hire McCoy or McCarthy.
I think he meant. I think he said
Talking about the
McCoy,
Mike
but
stuff?
Yeah.
but I do think that people way underrate what Mike McCarthy could do because I think they have some kind of image of Mike McCarthy in their head. But we're talking about a guy that's done a lot and seen a lot in the league that maybe he is a little stale, right? I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, shiny new thing did not work this last go around.
That is for sure. But I just want to kind of see this play out with McCoy and see if he changes anything about how they look on game day.
Yeah.
And that's talking about how they play. Let's see if something happens. And it may not happen the first game.
Yeah.
But let's see over a 3-4 week window if the team starts looking, especially on offense, since that's his backdrop here as his experience as a head coach and offensive play caller. Does it look somewhat different than before?
Well, if you look at history of the new coach bump, most of the new coaches, even in a loss, either won or lost games of 3 points or less at a high rate. So, I mean, again, it's not just about wins and losses for Mike McCarthy. It's about growth, development, and competitiveness. So we'll see how that looks. We'll talk more about that because I think there's a little bit of reason to maybe pick the Tennessee Titans over Mike Vrabel this week. And this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
You gambling man.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Of course, we're broadcasting live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports in Kentucky Downs. Let's go to the phone, 615-737-1045. Let's go to G-Money. G-Money, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Listen, I'm gonna contradict myself here, but just allow me to go through. But before I get into what I would say, listen, I called in last year and was talking about how Brian Callahan was dog water, and that man, you was defending him.
I was.
Don't say it. Yeah, you was
No
all
doubt.
about you some Cali. So, but listen, you've come around. I'm glad you on the right side. Now, but here's what I was going to say. I think the Titans' problem is they got too many virgins over there, meaning it's their first of everything. So you had, which I'm not a fan of Brinker. I'm the CEO of the Fire Brinker train. I think he needs to go, but he was a first. You had Rand, who was a first. You have this GM, who was a first. Brian Callahan was a first. First-time play call, first-time head coach. This guy who's calling plays now, I think he's a first. It's way too many virgins over there. And fellas, we like a little season. Like you want a little experience. And so I'd rather they go with someone who's experienced and have a track record. But if you were going to stick with the virgin route, I would say you need to hire a coach that's going to get the most out of Cam and let Cam play the way that he wants to play it. So my vote would be, if you're going to go that route, just hire Mario Cristobal. He's off to a hot start without Cam. They did the thing with Cam. I feel like you've made this investment to your number one draft pick. Pair him with somebody that's going to get the most out of him and not try to fit him into kind of like what they were talking about now, which is Callie was trying to fit a square in a round hole. Like, no, actually get every ounce you can out of Cam, because I think he's special. And now that Callie is gone, I think, his soul is no longer dying a slow death. So anyway, that's my opinion. Y'all have a good show.
Well, I'll ask you, Blaine, is Mario Cristobal a virgin? I mean, he's a head coach of a college program. Does that count to you to be he may even be, I guess, an NFL head coach virgin, but.
No, I don't know if he's meant like first time in the NFL.
Yeah.
Virgin. I mean, you guys, he was killing me with the virgin stuff, man. Looking at you and Ross, I just lost it. But I would say Cristobal has some experience. The only reason why I would say that I would feel a little bit comfortable with bringing him in, only because his connection with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I just have that kind of respect for Nick Saban, so I would probably lean into him, give him a call, ask him a little bit about Mario Cristobal. And that doesn't mean he knows everything about him as a head coach, but he should give me some insight. Now, it doesn't mean that the way he coached Cam Ward in college and his OC is going to be effective in the National Football League. I think
Cliff Kingsbury had a hard time with that in Arizona.
It'll be an adjustment period. Good coaches have figured it out. So I think I probably still would lean into someone that has NFL experience if I went that route. If I went, his college coach. And then I don't think the Titans will be paying their head coaches more than these college guys are making.
Well,
I don't know where Cristobal is at.
I'll tell you right here.
I think Callahan was around about $5 million a year or so. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah, something like that.
It's not 9 and 8 and what?
Mario Cristobal's buyout is $61 million.
So with that being said, that's a no.
And listen, guys, I mean, I love the idea of a college coach, pulling names out of there, but financially, these guys aren't feasible if the Titans or someone are on the hook for paying that.
People don't realize college, coaches, elite ones are getting paid probably double what some of the, average coaches in the NFL are making. And because college is a little more difficult job, and you got the recruiting aspect. I think I would kind of stick with, staying in the NFL. I want someone sees, if not, my curveball was Eddie George, if you're going to go that route.
Right.
Other than that, I probably I leaned into Mike McCarthy.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I don't know if there's other coaches. I'm not in a
Yeah.
coaching search
Right.
type guy. That's not my realm because you just never know. Because to me, you must sit down and have a conversation. Us looking at people's resumes and who's connected to who doesn't mean that he's going to be a good coach,
Yeah.
especially if we don't know if he's never been a head coach.
Well, have you seen the story that has come out this morning? You may not have, but from Tyler Dune of Go Long TD.
Oh yeah, I know him very.
Yeah, I know you know him well. I don't know if you've read his
He used to
article
run,
yet.
he used to do Green Bay. Now he
Yeah.
is nationally on his own.
But there's a story from 2019 Cleveland Browns coaching search where they decided to hire the interim Freddie Kitchens, I guess, that year.
Oh, that's right.
But this is about their hiring process. Now, it's about the Browns, but this source remembers when owner Jimmy Haslam and the Browns had a chance to once and for all build a winner. It was 2019. Hope was in the air with Mayfield entering year number 2. A barrel-chested badass of a coach named Dan Campbell walked through the door to interview for the Browns head coaching position. Back then, Dan Campbell oversaw the New Orleans Saints tight ends and was the assistant head coach to Sean Payton. His interview was electric. He was emotional. He had a plan. Quote, "It was awesome. I mean, it was awesome," says this source. But Dan said, "I want to have a tough team and run the ball because that's what the old football guys would do. That doesn't mean you're not going to pass." But Jimmy was so much, I don't want to say brainwashed, but under the influence of what the analytics say and how passing is so much more important than running, it was almost like he dismissed him after that statement. I don't know that he did, but that's what it felt like. And again, it goes back into these interviews and being brainwashed and all this stuff. You got to cut down to the messaging, to the core, and that's why really Mike Bergonzi should lead this thing. But I will say this, Eddie George would probably convince a lot of people in that room because of his motivational styles
Right.
that he should probably be at least a finalist for this job.
Yeah, I hope he gets the opportunity to at least interview. And I'd stack him up against even some veteran coaches. He just doesn't have the resume that those guys have. But as far as a CEO and helping him build your staff, and I think that's kind of the route they want to go. Not saying it's going to be Eddie George, but whoever it may be, even if it's McCoy, I think they want to kind of leave some things in place as far as coaches, probably just not on the offensive side.
Yeah.
I think defensively, if they continue to play like this consistently throughout the season without really outside of Jeffrey Simmons, any elite, or not even Pro Bowl players outside of Jeffrey Simmons, probably.
Yeah.
I think that's a heck of a job done on defense. So you definitely want to, keep that going with bigger and better pieces. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go here because I'm thinking that they want McCoy to show his worth, especially being absent from head coaching duties for a long time now. So he's rested, revigorated, I guess, about, coaching. It was kind of interesting listening to him because it seems like he loved coaching and then he kind of lost it a little bit. Just listening, read between the lines, spent a lot of time with his family, but yet then he's still kind of dabbling behind the scenes, wanting to get another opportunity, keeping the door open.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the type of door he wanted open and get an opportunity to showcase at a second spot as a chance as a head coach to show what he can do. So I'm interested to see what he can do with this team.
That's why I'm glad that they got him instead of Fossil. And who knows, maybe they asked Fossil and he said no. But my whole thing was, really, I think the only side of the ball that needs coaching turnover is the offensive side of the ball. And I was worried that if Fossil became the interim and the rest of the season just wasn't great, that they would try to get rid of everybody on the staff and get a whole new staff when it's like, we do not need to lose John Fossil. And honestly, we probably don't need to lose Denard either if we don't have to after this season.
Especially if the defense keeps performing like it has these last few weeks since he simplified the playbook. And I think that's a big key the key for Mike McCoy in this offense is to take a page from what Denard Wilson is doing and simplify things so this team can play with a little bit more urgency. Notice I didn't use tempo and instincts. Urgency and instincts. They need to play faster. Does not necessarily mean the pace of play has to pick up, but they need to be able to think faster, react faster, and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of go back to something that we kind of under-discussed a little bit. We've talked about it a few times, but haven't really dove in, is maybe that not only can things get simplified for Cam Ward, but what if things can get simplified for this offensive line? How many times have we seen missed assignments, not being able to pick up stunts, miscommunications from this offensive line? How many times have last year we saw it twice where the guard and the tackle ran into each other on plays. Like, you're like, what are they even doing? Of course, you see the tackle last night, Broderick Washington, I think Broderick Jones or Broderick Washington. What's his name? I think Broderick Jones. Tackled Aaron Rodgers last night.
Oh, well, after a celebration after a touchdown pass.
Yeah, but it's just still funny.
I was right there with A-Rod. Like, get off of me, dude. I'm 41 with 2 years off a torn Achilles. Get off of me.
Yeah, I was with you on that one. Yeah, but he was so excited. That's why he said those big old bumbling bears, man. You better watch out, man. They'll hurt you accidentally, man. You better watch out.
He acting like he's not 300 plus pounds.
Ooh, yeah, he act like he was my size.
Because everybody talks about tempo a lot, and like, I get it. It's the buzzword, right? But there's so many things that can fall into that. I mean, again, let's talk about that coming up next. Let's talk about the ways that the Tennessee Titans offense can improve and what that could mean for Mike McCoy and this team going forward. And maybe I'll tell you why I'm leaning towards the Tennessee Titans. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Want to know about a place where European Auto Repair doesn't feel like European Auto Repair? Hey, it's Blaine Bishop tell you that the moment you walk into Eurofix, you'll notice Eurofix is not your typical greasy garage. Waiting rooms, they're clean, comfortable, and inviting. Service areas are spotless. Why? Because Eurofix cares about everything from how you are treated to how your vehicle is treated. Every repair comes with a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs, and Eurofix performs and at below dealer pricing. And you don't have to put up with dealer prices and get ghosted when you're waiting for a call back. You know how they do, right? Well, Eurofix fixes everything European, plus a rental car is available with every appointment. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. You know, on the field, it's going to be a real tough path to victory for the Tennessee Titans coming up with against Mike Vrabel and this Patriots team. It doesn't really matter who the head coach is going to be. This would be a tough out if it was still this iteration of the team. You get what I'm saying? If you're still facing a 4-2 Patriots team with Drake May playing lights out, it would still be a tough out. But obviously, Mike Vrabel, used to coach here, can't ignore it. But it is interesting because there's just they stop the run very well. This is a top 10 run defense right now, and they got these thick, meaty men on the defensive line that it's tough to move them out of the way, so they clog up the running lanes, and then it gives your linebackers a chance. We don't know Harold Landry's status, so maybe they don't have the pass rush that they may need. But again,
by the way, also when I was looking at Landry, I saw he's lost weight. Like he's around 240-ish. And that's why he's been
a little bit faster.
Yeah. I know he had a knee injury or something the last game he was playing.
They've now called it an ankle injury, but it did not look like the way. I don't know if you saw the replay of it. It looked like almost an LCL injury.
That's what I thought.
And it's an ankle injury. Now he's missed the last 2 days of practices. He was out there for the open portion where they're just doing the stretching and walking. So we don't know if Harold Landry is actually going to play or not, but still, even if he does play, it sounds like he's going to be playing at 80%. And right now, he is their main pass rusher. Yeah. Now, they got two linebackers that are pretty good. Robert Spillane obviously has been here before. Mm-hmm. Then he got cut, and then he ended up over at the Steelers. Now he's back over at the Patriots after playing with the Steelers very well and ended up getting a $40 million contract or something crazy like that. But he's been playing well, right?
Oh, no, I like Spillane. Really sharp guy.
And, of course, they got Christian Gonzalez. The way to really attack this Mike Vrabel defense, as we have seen here before, is to kind of like kill them at death by 1,000 paper cuts. Because they're going to try and keep everything in front of them. They don't want to get beat. And really, most defenses don't want to get beat, but they play a lot of zones, so you're going to have to go with a lot of the underneath stuff, which is not something we've seen this Tennessee Titans offense do.
Who's the DC?
Well, it is Terrell Williams, but I don't know what his health status is.
Do we know
and
who's
everything.
been calling the plays since then?
I do not know. So
I wonder if Vrabel's doing it. That's what
he may be. I wouldn't put it past him. To be honest. So.
Linebackers coach Zach Kerr
has been the one calling him?
DC.
Okay, so Zach Kerr, linebackers coach. Don't know much about his history or anything, but what have you – obviously it's a Vrabel team, and it's a very talented Vrabel team. He's getting the most out of their team, I guess you could say. And Drake May is playing unbelievable football, like 2019, 2020 Ryan Tannehill football right now. He's the top in every stat almost. What do you think is the path to victory for this Tennessee Titans team? Do you even see a path?
Well, you just want to say what are the keys for the Titans, and naturally it goes down, kind of coach speak a little bit. But at the same time, you got to understand who Vrabel is and how he builds his team. They're going to have to get after the quarterback. They're going to have to make him feel uncomfortable. He is playing lights out now. How do you do that, and how do you want to go about that? There's numerous ways to do that. I would let the coaches who are studying him and game planning him, naturally going to have to blitz, but are you zone blitzing? Are you man-to-man blitzing? Maybe they give him a combination thing. I would also want to confuse him and show him some things that we haven't done in film.
Yeah.
Because I want to get him uncomfortable just in his thought process and going through his reads. And then next thing you know, he has a hold onto the ball, and then maybe somebody sack, calls fumble. So they're going to have some turnovers. I want to see a big play from DK, special team. I think they're going to need some things like that to get the excitement going sooner than later. But other than that, I watched their team. I think they're just typical Vrabel disciplined team. I don't see outside of the quarterback, anything that really just stands out like this team is.
It's not like the Colts. It's a good team, but it's not like the Colts are a top 5 team in the NFL, right? Like I think we both agree.
I think it's going to be a close game. I know. What New England's favored by 7 or something.
They're down to 6.5. I think.
6.5.
Can you double check that for me?
Yeah. So I don't see that. I think this is going to be one that's going to go down to the wire. And I think Vrabel being here is just a caveat, but I don't think him being there is going to change where we're at in our thought process of with a new coach. How much does that give you a bump? What changes do we see? You got to kind of focus on the things we're doing, and besides the defense and special teams. So, man,
it's a straight up touchdown right now. 7 exact points. Yeah.
Dang, that is. For pros, being the expert gambler you're at, seems like a lot in the NFL. 7 points?
It does, and it makes me want to bet Tennessee +7.
See, and that's why I'm saying this was going to be that's a big line, man.
Because he's got reluctancy right now to use his best running back, Travion Henderson, and they are really one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL right now. So, I mean, you can kind of make them one-dimensional, but really, do you want to make them like the reverse one-dimensional? Because, some people we want you to pass. Maybe you want them to run because they haven't been a very good running team. I don't know. It's an interesting thing because I'm not sure how to handle a Vrabel team that's not good running the football.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, though.
Yeah.
But I would say this. Every defensive coach would always say we must stop the run.
Right.
Because if they can run, that means then that leads to your big deal.
Yeah.
They can pass with play action pass. See, so you're setting up the run game to help you with the pass. So you must be able to eliminate or contain the running game, which is really weird. But I think they have some breakaway threats. I'm just shocked that they haven't, taken off here to this point. But they've run enough to keep everybody honest. It's been really a lot on their receivers, Booty to Diggs to
Diggs no touchdown, but he's got them yards
and their tight ends.
Yeah,
their tight end's been doing work, and we know Vrabel knows what he did in this league, and he utilizes the tight end. So this one here, I think if you're watching New England, I think we should be saying we can model our offense to somewhat similar to this at this point in time.
Yeah. Which is technically a Josh McDaniels offense, right? I mean, this is
Josh
his
McDaniels,
offense.
he lives by the dink and dunk and doing to the receivers, especially those gadget guys in the slot like Edelman and Wes Welker and all those guys on the list. So, it's worked out well. I don't even think Vrabel, if it was up to him, he would have hired McDaniels. I think that was pushed by the owner.
Well, you saw that he still hired Todd Downing as his wide receivers coach.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, who's never coached wide receivers. So he's probably that probably would have been his OC or Tim Kelly.
Right.
But Tim Kelly, I can't remember where he's at. Is he at Miami or somewhere like that? So let me ask you this. No Calvin Ridley, no Arden Key this weekend. So Draymond Jones is questionable. He's got an injury.
Ooh, what?
So, we know Femi's on... I don't know where the Titans are going to have a pass rush. It's Jihad Ward and Ali Gay show right now.
What is his injury?
Draymond Jones. Look that up for us.
The reason why I'm asking is because he's another guy.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm saying it. That would be on the trade block.
Well,
because he's a one-year deal guy, right?
Yeah.
See? So sometimes they hold out guys because they don't want to get hurt because we're right before we're about to trade you. I don't know if that's in this situation or not. I just don't recall his injury. So if he hadn't been practicing all week and
we got both the Patriots and the Tennessee Titans final injury report out. So I'll just run through it real quick. The Patriots have nobody declared out as Harold Landry with his ankle did not participate, went to full practice yet today. He's questionable, but obviously it seems like he's going to play. So the only person that may not play is Charles Woods, a cornerback for them with a knee injury, and maybe Jalen Hawkins, their safety. Everybody else is likely to see the field. For the Tennessee Titans, Blake Hance out. Marcus Harris with a calf injury, questionable. Then you have Draymond Jones with a knee injury, questionable.
Did he
practice on Wednesday.
No, he did not
Did not practice Thursday. Did not practice Friday.
Oh, but he practiced Wednesday.
Practice Wednesday. Arden Key with a quad. Do not. What'd you just say in my ear?
Say maybe trade. But that was
trade.
over the air.
Gotcha.
Wait, because he practiced Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday he has not practiced.
Arden Key, quadricep. Did not practice, did not practice, out.
They're out.
Then you have Tyler Lockett who's going to play. James Lynch is going to play. Then you have Calvin Ridley is out. Bryce Oliver is out. Calvin Ridley with a hamstring. Bryce Oliver with a knee. Then you have Joey Sly going to play because they cut Matthew Wright off the practice squad. And then Kevin Winston Jr., this is Tavondre Sweat is questionable with an ankle injury. But they think they're pretty optimistic he's going to play. Yes, he did practice. He's limited all week.
McCoy said he's making a decision on Sweat tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll know tomorrow if Tavondre Sweat's playing by Sunday.
McCoy's making a decision.
Yeah, so allegedly.
Also, real quick, Tim Kelly is the tight ends coach for the Giants right now.
There you go. I knew it was a
Giants
random
guys.
team.
And Zach Kerr, the guy calling defense for the Patriots, was with the Titans from 2020 to 2023. He was quality control in 20 and then inside linebackers coach the last 3 years.
There you go. Assistant inside linebackers coach, right?
I don't know. Inside linebackers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, he's still a Vrabel guy.
So there you go. No Calvin Ridley, but we saw Van Jefferson step up. Obviously, Elikiah Manners going
Led
to
the team in yardage, right?
He did. I mean,
looked pretty good, didn't he?
He didn't look like no chump, did he?
Well, watch this.
Yeah.
Vance Jefferson starts. Watch. Xavier Restrepo dresses.
Well, that's the thing I was about to
Is
ask.
that possible?
Yes.
Is that possible?
No Bryce Oliver and no Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
So you are left with Tyler Lockett, Elikiah Manor, Van Jefferson,
Prochet.
and James Prochet. Is he on the active roster? He's not on the active roster, but Chimere Dike was going to be the fourth one. So they only have 4 wide receivers on the active roster. So if they don't call up someone from the practice squad, which we should know, at some point today or tomorrow. They usually let us know a little early if they're going to call someone up. Doesn't mean that they're going to be active, but they may call someone up. Is that they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel. And they're just going to roll with those 4 wide receivers, and they're not going to bring up anybody. If they don't bring up somebody,
They have to bring up one guy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But if they don't bring up somebody, that tells you a little bit about those practice squad wide receivers, right?
Well, Xavier Restrepo was being, he was wearing the jersey of, a player on the other team.
Yeah, Keyshawn Booty, if I'm not mistaken.
I think number 9.
I was going to say, this feels like a Mason Kinsey game, does it not?
Oh, forgot about. So they have Kinsey, Prochet, and Xavier
Yep,
Restrepo?
those are their 3 receivers on the P squad.
Ooh. Are we sure? Well, then they may.
I wonder if they don't elevate anybody, I wonder if we see Chig in the slot a little more.
It is Mason Kinsey, James Prochet, and Xavier Stripper. Could be the Mason Kinsey game. Wouldn't that be something if Mason Kinsey gets the call up and then he gets 100 yards on Mike Vrabel? I don't know why. That would be just hilarious to me.
Oh, man, I wouldn't put
And Mike Vrabel's over his side. See, I told you all about Mason Kinsey.
Hey,
don't you think, though, say they don't elevate anybody and they keep their 4 receivers, don't you think they kind of have to put Chig in the slot a little more or run him?
Or Tajay Spears. They put Tajay Spears out in the slot a little bit. They really just need to get Chimere Dike some crossers. I mean, at this point, you're starting 3. If you were starting in 3 wide receiver sets, to me, right now, should just be Van Jefferson, Elikiah Manor, and Chimere Dike. Let Tyler Lockett be the guy that rotates in because Tyler Lockett has provided you very, very little. But
is that a fair analysis? And I'm going to give you an example of why I don't think that is fair assessment. I've heard a lot of people say this. What did Tyler Boyd do here when he got here?
Very little. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a scheme thing.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. So if we put DK, we're going to see the same thing.
That's true.
Now, listen, he's with a new,
yeah.
well, not new, but head coach anyway.
So maybe Tyler Lockett gets a little bit more involved now.
I don't know, but it's easy
possible
to say because he's over 30 to say, oh, he's washed up. But at the same time, who's gotten production out of the slot when he's been the head coach? Callahan, that is. So I just and this is a guy who knew a system.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a fair assessment to whoever is playing there. Let's see if that changes as time goes on. Now, I do like the rotation of DK. I feel like he should be more involved anyway at this point in time, especially when you have nothing to lose when you're at the Titans. But I don't want to just kind of throw people under the bus just because they're not having production. At the same time, we just saw Van Jefferson, who all the fans want, Xavier Restrepo out there, and he put up 75 yards receiving in a game with given opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all about having receivers against this Vrabel defense and this cover 2 defense that they kind of employ that can find the soft spots in the zone. And Van Jefferson has shown that outside of that one low probability catch
in the
preseason, he's been able to find the soft spots in these zones. Even when the spot duty, I mean, he's only had one incompletion because he's a vet.
Yeah, he knows.
And I think Elikiah Manor can do the same. Now, he's got to get a little bit more crisp with his route running. My thing is are they going to provide Cam Ward more, I guess you would call them outs, like easy outs, because there's been times where they send 4 deep and have no outlet for him to throw to.
Oh, you saying outlet? I thought you meant outcut.
Yeah. Sorry, outlet. That's the word I was looking for.
That is.
I got there eventually.
That was crazy when I see that on film.
And we saw it all the time on the film. Not all the time, but like too high of a rate for a rookie quarterback. And that's why I wonder, is Mike McCoy, based on everything he's kind of said and stuff he's keeping close to the vest, is he going to keep it simple for Cam Ward? Not simple enough to where it makes it easy on the defense, but where the wide receivers could play fast, the offensive line could play fast, where Cam Ward can make quick decisions. Because I do feel like the Brian Callahan offense required these kind of longer developing, slower developing plays, and it just doesn't seem like these guys had the freedom to just play football. Like go out there, play fast, play tough with instincts. And maybe we will see more of that. And if they do, this could be a competitive game. If it's the same old that we have seen, it's not going to be competitive at all.
Well, I don't really know if it's slowing the players down. I just don't know if they are capable.
Maybe. And maybe that's why it slows them down. Yeah.
Or is it just guys just not on the same accord as the quarterback? I think it's probably a combination of all those kind of things, if I was guessing. So I just want to see if, the offense is run where they're actually moving the chains consistently, because you see that's what all the other offenses are doing to a certain extent. And I just feel like Ward is, when you see some of the throws, when you watch all 22, you go, man, this guy is pretty impressive. And then you go look at his passer rating, you go, well, dang, this doesn't match up.
Right.
So how does this? He's making some tight window throws. I think some long-time NFL starters at quarterback wouldn't make.
Right.
And he's hitting it on the money. Now he's also missing. He's got some drops. I think what you want to try to do is what you're referring to is take the cape off of him. And I think he was trying to be risk averse, because I think he knows who he is.
Yeah.
And he's a gunslinger and he wants to be that way. So let him see, for the sake of the team. I like to see the tight ends get more involved. Pull off the cape and let them fly. Let them make mistakes. Let them throw it around the yard. Let's do some let's do some no huddle. I don't want to say up tempo. Let's do some no huddle. Let him see that sometimes this is a good thing, but then sometimes it's not in the NFL.
Yeah. Trust the scheme. Let Cam be Cam. And that's kind of what Mike McCoy said. And I think that's a good way to approach it. Just real quick, let's go to Brian in Nashville. He wants to talk about Gunnar Helm. Brian, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's up, fellas? I've been really frustrated with watching these games with drop passes and everything, and been wondering why Gunnar Helm hasn't gotten more involved in the offensive scheme. And I get it, we need more blocking tight ends, because it doesn't seem parts of our offensive line have they look like they pulled him out of the stadium at times. I wonder if you guys are talking about dump passes, quick, easy out routes, little things like that, and we got guys who Cam Ward's having to throw the ball 100 miles an hour because he gets no protection, and you got guys who are dropping the ball. So guys like Gunnar, who have had 30 steady hands, I'm wondering why they haven't gotten him more involved in the offense. So I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks. Hopefully that changes too. And I think that from what I've kind of heard, because we were talking about Chig trade rumors earlier, from kind of what I've heard, maybe Chig gets traded for the same reason Jarvis Brownlee Jr. gets traded, because they want to make sure that someone else gets more involved that they drafted or signed.
Which would make sense for this staff with
but
the GM.
Maybe you can get Mike McCoy, who can get the best out of both of them and utilize both of them. But yes, I do agree. Gunnar Helm has to be used more, not just by the offensive design, but by the quarterback himself. He's got to also choose to take the easy chunk play with Gunnar Helm as well. He hasn't done that with Chig on a regular basis until the fourth quarter. So it's some of it, and I don't know progressions. I guess I should say that. I don't know what the progressions he's told, but some of it, sometimes it's got to be the quarterback that makes the decision to get them the ball as well. But you got to put them in position to succeed and have them on the field. And I think Gunnar Helm is someone that we should see their usage uptick.
Let's go back to the timeline of training camp. Where was he throwing the ball a lot?
It seemed to me over the middle of the field, right?
And then in the regular season, what do we have not seen?
Not that. Isn't that crazy?
I remember this
That
to a
is so
T.
crazy to me.
And then finally he got a pick. Cody Barton did, and he kind of slowed that down a little bit, or a couple picks.
I mean, it felt like that's all he was doing. Chimere DK over the middle across the field. Tyler Lockett across the field. Gunnar Helm, Chig Okonkwo. Everybody was catching their balls over the middle of the field, it seemed like. And then you get out here, and he's being a little inaccurate outside the numbers, probably because it doesn't feel like he threw a lot outside the numbers. You know, it's just, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. So here's a good example of what I'm referring to as far as running your system or developing plays within your system for players' strengths and what they are. Good example is Chig. How come we haven't seen him split out and go one-on-one with a linebacker? If you go back and watch the tape, he did that numerous times. Almost felt like he was a receiver at times. It was like, whoa, I didn't know we had that. Oh, screen passes, catching them, running 60, 70, 80 yards. So you didn't even do that for that player, let alone have you done that really a lot for any player, maybe outside of Calvin Ridley. So I just don't see that. And that's what I'm referencing when we're talking about leading guys down the road within your system to run plays specifically to their strengths right there.
Yep.
And matter of fact, I would showcase Chig if I think I'm going to trade him. I'm going to have him out there and I would showcase him and like, oh, man, I'm going to get more than what he was drafted. What is it, 5th round pick or something? I want more than that.
All right, coming up next, we're going to give you our final thoughts in the Lions Den Best Bets. We're going to pick the Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Volunteers game as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Parents, when your teen athlete gets injured, every practice miss matters. So don't let an injury sideline you this season or your dreams. Introducing Edge Athletic Recovery Program, a 2-month, twice daily sublingual peptide protocol designed to help your athlete heal faster, recover stronger, and get back on the field safely. Our science-backed peptides BPC 157 and TB 500 support muscle, tendon, and ligament repair with no needles, no downtime, and no hassle. Safe for teens, non-GMO, gluten-free, and easy to take at home. Optional add-ons include M-Scope, functional sessions, and regenerative orthopedic treatments to accelerate recovery even more. So don't wait. Give your athlete the best shot of a full return to the sport and call Edge Peptide Therapy at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878. Or you can visit them online at edgepeptide.com to schedule an office consultation today. Edge Peptide Therapy knows every game, every practice, and every dream matters.
That's right. It's time for Lions Den Best Bets. But first, we got to go around the room and pick the Tennessee Titans game as well as the Tennessee Volunteers game. And I'm going to pick Alabama to win.
Oh, shocker.
42-28.
We got to play him since he hates it.
42-28. Alabama wins at home. So there you go.
41. Oh, my God.
42-28.
42-28. Golly. I think both Tennessee teams are going to win. All three, Vanderbilt as well, over LSU. I'm going for the home run. right here. I'm not giving you scores. A win's a win's a win.
So you're going UT and Titans.
Yep. And Vanderbilt. Yep, there we go. We're going to see how I do this weekend. See, that's why you can never bet with emotions. That's how you lose a lot of money, people.
What do you got?
Vols game?
Vols game. And we'll go to Titans here in just a second.
Okay.
He's laughing at me.
Give me Alabama 31, Tennessee 20.
There you go.
Tennessee Vols are going to run down Alabama's throat.
We'll see
take
about
them out
that.
the crowd.
We'll see
take
when
the
that
crowd noise and everything, night, all
Unless
that
they pull a
electric
Vanderbilt
lights,
and
all
decide
that
they're not
electric
gonna
light
run.
stuff, and be like, yeah,
You gonna be hearing that
right down their throat.
You gonna be hearing that elephant a lot tomorrow night. I promise.
No, and the elephant gonna act like he stepped on a nail. Ow! Oh my gosh, these guys are legit.
All right. You picked the Tennessee Titans, Blaine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna provide you a little bit of ammo of why you should feel good about that.
Oh.
Okay? So here's why. Because it shouldn't be because of the players
But are
on the
you
field.
picking them?
Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm picking them right here.
Well, you giving me my reason. Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you why you should feel good about it.
He's been previewing this all week.
Oh, I know. You know he couldn't wait.
We got the new coach bump.
He wrote an essay on it.
We got the new coach bump. 18 wins to 16 losses for new head coaches in their first game out. So that's a .529 win percentage, so 52.9% win percentage. Pretty good, okay, for those new head coaches.
Pretty good.
Okay, here's the other one. The New England Patriots have never won 3 straight road games in a regular season. And they're already predicting, this tweet that said this said, until now. So they're already predicting the win. And not only has the New England Patriots never won 3 straight road games, Mike Vrabel has had it twice and has never won 3 straight road games. He's always gone win-win-loss. And guess where the third loss would be? Right here.
Oh,
and here's another one.
Oh, my. You were trying to do reverse psychology
and
here.
Here's another one. We all know about the Vrabel letdown game. And we know that it's coming at some point. Vrabel letdown game could be right here. Because here's why. Here's another thing in favor of the Tennessee Titans. A little bit more voodoo magic. Mike Vrabel is 9-4. He is 4-9 against rookie quarterbacks. Rookie quarterbacks are 9-4 against Mike Vrabel teams.
Oh, really?
So what do the Tennessee Titans have? They have an interim head coach, the new coach bump. What do they also have? The rookie quarterback. What do they also have? It's a home game for the Tennessee Titans, and Mike Vrabel's never won 3 straight road games. Neither has the New England Patriots. So let me tell you right now, and it is back-to-back-to-back road games. I see people are like, well, how's that possible? They've had an 18-1 season. It's back-to-back-to-back road games.
Mm-hmm. They didn't do that under Tom Brady.
They didn't know, but I didn't even fact-checked it.
I know, because I saw that tweet that they put out there.
I even fact-checked it.
Dang, that's pretty
They've
remarkable.
never done it. Tennessee Titans are winning this game. Not giving a score prediction, but if I had to and you told me to, it's 17-14 Tennessee Titans. But Tennessee Titans are winning this game.
So you still think the Titans can score a lot of points?
They're not going to score a lot of points. I think Mike Vrabel's just that good of a coach. Okay, Ross, did I convince you to take the Tennessee Titans with all that voodoo?
Well, I was going to take the Titans all week. Just don't want to root against my team, but
you made them go against the Titans.
I am the president of positivity. I just want to say
I also believe in if all 3 of us pick them, they'll lose. So I'm going to take the Patriots 24-13.
There we go. All right, y'all ready for the Lions Den best bets? Because here they are. Because I just want to tell everybody, just real quick, we got 4 of our 5 last week, so we're at 60% on the season, which is elite betting.
You should have played the elephant music. I mean, Alabama's music.
All right, here we go. LSU money line. I'm sorry to Vanderbilt fans. I have a hard time believing in you. I'm going LSU money line. Ole Miss is going to cover the spread at 7.5. Now, it's gone down to 6.5 just today during the show. But Ole Miss at Georgia was at 7.5, and so I'm taking them at 7.5. The over in the Ohio State at Wisconsin game, over 41.5 points scored in that game. I'm taking Texas Tech on the road at Arizona State They're going to score more than 8 points in that game. They're currently favored by 7.5 points on the road. And then Memphis is playing UAB in the Battle of the Bones. They're at UAB this year. Battle of the Bones is what they call that. They're 21.5 point favorites, and they are going to win by 21.5 points at the very least.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to just add on to that. That's where Trent Dilfer was at. I saw him coach there. I went to the Alabama State UAB. Yep. Guess what? Who should be going there?
Who
you think? Brian Callahan.
Oh, I like it.
Brian should be the UAB coach.
I like it. Just real quick, because 3HL's up next. Here's my fun little parlay. None of these have hit, but it's a fun little parlay. This is called the Ranked Road Warriors, teams that are on the road that are ranked. I'm taking the spread in favor of Georgia Tech, the spread in favor of Nebraska, the spread in favor of LSU, the spread in favor of Oklahoma, and the spread in favor of Texas A&M. That's just a fun little parlay bet. That's plus 22,689. So 2689 is the plus odds on that. All right, that will do it for us. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone. And in the meantime,
and in between time, peace.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com